Hi, I'm sure you've read my description before on my channel, but my name's Calvin, and I'm starting this new series called Let's Talk, where I basically speak about important subjects to me and to people that I love and care for over various videos, where it might be video gaming, it might end up being a video of me, it could be pictures of my walks, or videos of my walks that I go, stuff like that, and then hopefully eventually I might even be able to incorporate the airsoft into it, but that is for the future. Basically, I've got about 10 minutes of gameplay here, so I'm going to talk to a topic that is the most important to me and close to my heart, which is chronic illness. Basically, if you or someone you know has been diagnosed or suffers from a chronic illness, then you probably already understand how it can impact everyday life and every part of it as well. It's not just about pain, it's not just about fatigue, it's about living with something that doesn't go away. And to these people, that's hard hitting, to learn that you are going to suffer for the rest of your life in pain, and there's not much you can really do about it. So that's what we're going to talk about. As I've said, if you have any thoughts on what I have to say, or any experiences about chronic illness and chronic pain, I would love to have a wee chat, or drop them in the comments below, because this is going to be a safe space where we can connect and help each other. And possibly, you never know, we could be the next big revelation. Right, let's back on the ball. So defining what chronic illness really is, it is a long-term health condition which could last for a year or more. Now, for some people, these health conditions can go away, especially if they've got them from an outstanding condition like cancer or pregnancy. Please ignore that noise in the background. That's even annoying me. Or it could be people that have undiagnosed pain, where they can't figure out what's wrong, it's been ruled out what it could be. Or it could be people that suffer from stuff such as rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, fibromyalgia, which is what I suffer from, multiple sclerosis, or even things like cluster migraines and irritable bowel syndrome. And these ones tend to last the rest of your life, and there's nothing you can really do about it, unfortunately. And these can also be diagnosed at different types of lives. Some people are, can be born with it, some people can develop it. It's because a lot of these can also be linked to mental health as well. And that's what makes it so unique, is chronic illness, it affects people differently. Some people have symptoms that can be manageable, and some people have symptoms that they can live with, even without stuff like pain medication and stuff like that. Whilst others might experience flare-ups, like me, I experience flare-ups on a somewhat regular basis, and these are debilitating. You have feelings that you can't move, you're exhausted constantly, you're grumpy, you're crabbit. It's not a nice way to live, and whilst a lot of people with these flare-ups, they tend to try and just get on with things, and whilst they might look like they're perfectly fine on the outside, internally, if you were to ask them, they'd be suffering quite badly, and if they were to try and explain it to you, it'd be something that you probably, for people that don't suffer with these illnesses, they wouldn't be able to understand. And that's something that I've encountered myself quite a lot, is people that don't actually understand the chronic pain and the chronic illness and the stuff that I actually go through to actually make it through a day. It's not just about dealing with physical symptoms as well. It's, in a sense, it's about managing a sense of loss, uncertainty, and occasionally isolation. Because, and I mean that in the sense of, a lot of people lose out on things because of their chronic illnesses, and a lot of people isolate themselves and they feel alone in their chronic illnesses because, well, they don't understand why, and they don't understand how to fix it, because there isn't a fix for these illnesses, unfortunately. And that leaves a huge mental toll and emotional toll. step into someone's shoes. You take a minute, close your eyes, think about it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Take a minute and close your eyes. Think about someone, or think about a chronic illness. Think about what I've described already, and imagine just waking up every single day, knowing that the pain, the fatigue, and the exhaustion that you feel, it's not going anywhere, not anytime soon. And the idea of being alright is often just a distant dream. I think one of the hardest things about it is that no one really understands what you're going through unless they've been there themselves, which a lot of people aren't going to be and haven't. It's easy for people to assume that if you don't look sick, then you must be fine. But it's so much more than that. For many people, there's a constant inner battle, trying to push through your day, pretend to be normal when inside your body is telling you to stop. A lot of the days when I wake up, I don't want to leave my bed. I'm comfy. I'm not as sore as I would normally be, but we have to, because in the eyes of the public, there's no excuse for us to not go out and work and make money and do things. And a lot of the time that does mentally strain on us, because we feel like even if we had the help, that we still have to do these things that we struggle to do. They often say they often go hand in hand with mental health issues like anxiety, depression, bipolar, because of the feelings of how am I going to feel tomorrow? Will I get better? How am I going to manage relationships, health, work? And it's also like, how am I going to feel after today? If you've had a long, hard day, you don't know how you're going to feel, and you're going to be concerned. It's not just a physical burden, it's an emotional one, and that's why it's important we try to find ways to deal with the body and the mind. It's just not that easy. Managing chronic illness is where it gets really tricky. There's no one treatment for everybody, like some medical issues would be that. For some folk, medication might help. For others, it could be lifestyle changes. There's therapy, there's physical and emotional therapy, and alternative treatments that people explore. But the thing is, no matter how many doctors you see, how many treatments you try, chronic illnesses are still unpredictable. You might have periods of remission where you feel amazing for a while, but then when that comes back, it hits you twice as hard, and you feel completely wiped out. It's important to acknowledge that chronic illnesses can take tolls on your career, relationships, and social life, and that's what a lot of people don't understand as well. It's that it's difficult for people with chronic illnesses to make plans, and when we cancel plans, we don't actually mean it. Speaking of isolation, it brings something really important to me: support. When you're living with a chronic illness, having a strong support system can feel and make all the difference. Whether it's friends, families, or online communities, having people who understand, or at least try to understand, can help you feel less alone. And if you're a caregiver for someone or someone who loves another person with a chronic illness, remember that you play a huge role in providing support. Even just listening can help somebody, because there's no really any way to help them apart from reminding some of them to take the medication, because I know for one I am bad for that. Let's go in a different direction entirely. While living with a chronic illness feels like a battle, it's a huge opportunity for empowerment, because achieving goals and dreams is such a big token. It feels so good. You need to advocate for yourself, and you need to be proactive in your healthcare, and sometimes that's not easy for folks who suffer with chronic illnesses. If you suffer from a chronic illness, you're always welcome to reach out to me, and I can do my best to speak to you and give you a hand, and have a shoulder to cry on. Don't be afraid to take charge of your own health. because a lot of the time the doctors don't understand because they haven't been through it themselves, and they don't care because all they care about is money. All I ask from people that might be watching this for the gameplay or to learn about something new, and that's why the gameplay's there. The gameplay's there to give people something else to focus on. I ask that you do your research and you advocate for better awareness and resources. I think that's something that we can all get behind, because if we band together, maybe we can figure out what's going on, how to fix things, or at least maybe be more supportive of people that have invisible illnesses. But really, in conclusion, it's a complicated subject. As I've stated, there's no one symptom route, there's no one treatment route. It's not even just about diagnosis. It's about living a life that often requires more strength and patience and resilience than most people will ever know. It's about community and advocacy as well. People understanding, taking charge, and what's the word I'm looking for? Making others aware. I see you. Chronic illness or not, I see you. Everybody's journey is valid. Everybody's struggles are real. And everybody's strength is undeniable. I would appreciate it if we could share, subscribe, like, do what you need to do. Raise some awareness for chronic illness. And this is part 1. Not of this specific topic, but this is part 1 of this series, Let's Talk. I plan on going into other episodes talking about stuff like growth hormone deficiency, which is another thing that I suffer from. I do plan on speaking about chronic illness further as well, fibromyalgia, stuff like that, mental health, and other topics. If you guys want to hear about anything specifically, drop it in the comments and I can definitely make a video about it and talk about it. And who knows, maybe we can get another person here to speak about these things, another person that suffers maybe with a different thing that we would like to touch on, and maybe they can come and speak about their problems. But I'll stop rambling on because that seems to be all I'm doing right now. But yeah, subscribe, and I'll see you hopefully in the next video if I end up getting to one, because I like to procrastinate a lot. So we'll see. Alright, see you later.